Hello gamers, welcome to another edition of Tonight on Mage Hammer's Game Table, where tonight I'm continuing my series featuring the role-playing game that I designed, Delves and Dangers Fantasy RPG. This, I believe, is the 5th episode, maybe 5.5, in this series featuring these characters. They are Tantalus Shadowlight, Elven Thief, Hyli, Human Warrior, Morden Shieldcroft, Dwarf Cleric, and Pendleton Flufffoot, Halfling Wizard. In this series, they have been clashing with a Mad Mage, whose name they really don't even know. And this Mad Mage hired them on false pretenses and basically kidnapped them and hid them away in his delves that he's designing for who knows why. He's a Mad Mage. They escaped the first delve, went and tried to bring him to justice. They were defeated and put back into another one of his delves. And now they have made their way out of that particular delve and are not quite sure exactly where they are. And they want to get back to home, which is Argos. However, they also want to bring the Mad Mage to justice. He can't be running around kidnapping people and taking them away just for his own amusement. So they have that dual purpose, getting home and finding the Mad Mage. So, this is my game, Delves and Dangers. You can, if you like what you see here, you can download it for free. It's a pay what you want download up on itch.io. I will have the link in the description below. Check that out. We are out in the wilderness, so I'm using the Basic Fantasy RPG Wilderness Encounter random encounter tables from their Basic Fantasy 4th edition RPG core rulebook. The PDF is entirely free. It's up on their Basic Fantasy RPG website. You can just do a quick Google search and you find it there if you're interested in checking out Basic Fantasy. I have a whole series two series really, where I run Basic Fantasy RPG on this channel solo. You can go check that out just with a quick search on my channel. So until you do that, how about see what happens with these heroes? not a very good segue. All right, so they camped. They moved far away from the delve just in case there are any residual creatures there. They camped, and it's the next morning. Their night passed uneventfully, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do, and that's where our story takes up. So here we go. So, says Pendleton, I was looking at the stars last night, and I've been studying the stars since I was just a wee harefoot, and I believe that we are still in the Swordlands. However, I think we're probably in the northeast quadrant, so we're quite far from home, but still in the Swordlands, which is good news. So, my guess is if we start heading southwest, we eventually will make our way to Argos. That's quite a trek. Yes, indeed it is. But I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, I don't have any kind of magic that would facilitate that. We might be able to make our way to a town or something and find our way to a wizard that might take us there, or get, book passage on a caravan and kind of travel with them for safety, whatever. But here we are, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly where we are. Well, then I think we need to do our best to find some help. Does anybody know about this part of the world? Well, I believe that this is lots of woods, and then there is, I don't think there's any mountains between us, and the mountains are all to the north. You probably could see them in the distance on a clear day from where we are here, and if these trees weren't in the way. But I think if we find our way, we're probably going to be traveling through quite a bit of woods. Then we're going to hit some plains. We could head straight south and try to find the trade road. Then that way at least there'll be Kellenite way stations on the way to Argos. It'll be quite a ways. Oh, I think that sounds like a much better plan, says Tantalus. Yeah. Yes, indeed, says Hyli. She says, yes, I think that's probably our best bet. We'll go south, look for the trade road, and book passage on a caravan, or continue to walk on the trade road and take advantage of the Kellenite way stations for food and safety. Excellent. Well, we have enough rations to keep us together for about a week. Unless we hunt. Tantalus, you got any hunting abilities? Yes, I grew up in forests. I know my way around. I can provide us food if we need it. Excellent. Well, we just ate breakfast, so I say we pack up camp and head on out. So they're going to head on out. In the past, when I've done wilderness adventures, I have used, pretty much they would encounter creatures or monsters or NPCs based on the encounter tables that I use. And I think I'm going to put a teeny bit of a twist on it this time. And when they encounter an encounter, I will see if the encounter is in the wilderness or if it's in some kind of structure that happens to be in the wilderness, ruins or a tower or something like that. I have some of my old dungeon tiles that I found that are wilderness, and I thought, oh, I'm going to try that. So keep your eye out for that. I'm going to do that in this adventure, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see if any of them ever come up. I figure they're relatively rare, so I think they'll roll an encounter on a D6. In the wilderness, it's on a 1 or a 2. And then I check twice a day, one for the day and one for the evening at night. And then also, so for those daytime ones, I'll roll to see if they find it in a structure or something along those lines. And then I'll roll another D6. If it's on a 1, then it happens in a ruin. If not, it's out in the wilderness. So that's how I'm going to be running the random encounters in this particular series. So there we go. Okay, so they're heading south. I know it looks like they're heading north on the camera, but it's just for convenience. Well, I guess I could have them come down from here. So they're heading south through the woods, whatever woods they're in. I'm not 100% sure which. And we're going to see. All right, I'm going to say that they are probably, okay, well, I was looking for a map of my world, which I have many printouts of, and I was hoping that I would find it quickly. However, I'm not going to be able to find it quickly, so I'm just going to have to spitball this, because I like to base my campaigns in my own home, in my own campaign world. So I'm going to say they're 2 weeks away from the trade road if they continue due south, which, you know, with Tantalus in the group, they're able to maintain what is true south. So they're going to be traveling through some forests here for several days. Let's say I'll roll the first week and we'll see where we're at. So the dark dice will be nighttime encounters. The light dice will be daytime encounters. And a week is, of course, in this world as well as our own, 7 days. So it's going to be night and daytime encounters. I have an entire week. Okay, so I got 1 daytime, 2 daytimes, 2 nighttimes, and that's really it for the entire week. Okay, so now I think what I'll do is, since there's 7 days in the week, I will roll a die, say which day of the week it's on here, and if I roll a 6, I'll roll it again, and if it comes up a 6 again, then it'll be on the 7th day. All right, so this one's going to be on the 4th day. Okay, so we call it 1, 2, 3, 4. That's on the 4th day. We're starting here. And then this one's going to be on the 6th day. Oop, is it or the 7th? Nope, the 6th day. It's going to be a 6th day here. 2nd encounter. Nighttime encounters. 5th night. And then let's see about this final night encounter. It's going to be on the 1st night. All right. So that's how this is going to work. So they travel the entire day, singing songs, talking about their vengeance on the Mad Mage and various other things. And then they camp for the night, put up some rough tents that they have with them. They're just enough to maybe keep the rain off of them. They start a fire, Tantalus does. And they sit around, and she goes hunting, brings them back some rabbits, and they eat the rabbits, and have some rabbit stew in Flufffoot's. Flufffoot has a old helmet that he carries, and they make some stew in that. So that is their dinner, and so they set a watch. They're gonna put Flufffoot first because he's gonna study his spell book before he goes to sleep. So he's got first watch. Then it'll be Hyli, Morden. So Hyli, Morden. We'll go clockwise, starting from Flufffoot. And we'll see on whose watch the encounter happens. It's going to be Flufffoot. So he's going to, okay, so they go into their tents and have a lie down. And then try to get some rest. I will have them take off their heavy armor to sleep. Both Hyli and Morden have heavy armor, so they're going to take off their armor to sleep. And then so they may end up fighting this fight with just their shields. So we'll see. We'll see if it's a fight even. We'll never know. One never knows. So since it's a nighttime encounter, we're not going to roll to see whether it's in a structure or not. And now we are going to roll 4. They are in a forest. Classic. All right. So as Flufffoot is studying a spellbook by the light of the fire, one of the trees begins to move. Little one. Oh my. Hello, Mr. Tree Man person, tree person. Hello! And he's being really loud to wake his folks. And they come out real quick. And Tantalus is like, oh, a tree ant. Also known as walking trees. Hail, old father. Yes, hello. I am Bark. And I would like to inquire as to why you've brought fire to my land. Oh, we did not know. We so apologize. We only use dead wood. Says Pendleton. Yes, indeed, only dead wood, sir. I have much respect for your forests, so we used only dead wood. We have harmed no trees, and we'll be passing through. Yes, I shall be over here watching and making sure that fire stays where it is. Yes, of course. Oh, of course, sir. Of course. So, you've lived here your entire life? For many, many seasons, yes. And I protect these woods from all who would harm it. Yes, of course. That is not us. We promise. No trees cut down, no dwellings built, nothing. Just dead things to keep us warm and cook our food. Yes. So Pendleton engages Bark in conversation, gets as much information out of him as he can, as spellcasters are wont to do, and eventually the others he finally gets tired, and so Highlight takes over, and the Trent just kind of goes into sleep mode, I guess, and goes to sleep. So that was their first nighttime encounter. All right, so we move to the 4th day of travel. So they've been able to hunt and get food and see regular wildlife in these forests, but no real dangers for those days until the 4th day. And it may not even be a danger, it's just an encounter. So let's see what it is. So they're out, they're traveling, and here we go. Spread out a bit, talking, not really trying to be particularly quiet. Of course, because they don't really, they don't know how dangerous these woods are. And so the encounter is going to be that. Very nice. All right. So this particular creature, I'm going to roll a d6. If it is a 1, it is dangerous. Otherwise, it may just pass by. Well, we'll give a 1 or a 2. All right, so a massive, they hear a crashing through these woods right here, and out of the woods comes a rather large bear, and it stands up on its hind legs. It's close to 7 feet tall. And Tantalus is like, "Oh, that is a grizzly. We wish not to tangle with that. Let us go around. And if she has cubs, which is, it is the season, we could be in great danger." This owlbear will be the bear for now. So they're going to try to circumvent. I've already rolled. She is not dangerous. And once they go off to this direction and start going far wide, the bear returns back into the woods on its own business. So 2 encounters, violence avoided. Let's go into the 6th day and see what they see. And that is, okay, so we'll see what happens. All right, so they're traveling along through the woods, and I'm gonna roll to see if they're in thick woods or in clearing. Thick woods, 1, 2, 3, 4. They are in thick woods. As they're traveling, they see a massive shadow pass over top, and Tantalus is like, "Whoa, something flying, quickly, take cover." So they do. Tantalus climbs a tree. I'm going to give her, she needs to make an agility roll, and I'll give her proficiency since she's a thief. She's used to climbing things. I'll give her another +1 because she's an elf and grew up in the forests. And so she's got 5 successes right there with 2 explosions, so 7 successes. She easily climbs a tree, gets up there, and she sees in the distance the creature that flew over them, and it was a giant hawk. She comes back down and says, "Oh my God, thankfully we were in heavy cover, for if we had not been in heavy cover, I'm afraid, Pendleton, that hawk would have made you a meal. She's looking for her lunch." Oh, I would hate to see the halfling swoop into the air. Oh, me too. Yes, quite. Well, let's continue on, and let's maybe keep deeper to the trees. Yes, indeed. All right, and so they come to this, that was the 5th day, and then so they're coming to the 6th night of travel, and then we'll have to roll for the next week's encounters. And we'll see what this encounter is. All right. Ooh. All right, so I'm going to say there's 2 of these things. And they are not going to be friendly. They are very hungry. We're going to see whose watch it's going to happen on, and then we will decide. We'll decide whether that person can sense them or not. All right, so this miniature will have to do, and then another miniature. I have a specific miniature that's perfect for this, but for some reason. My organization, I love it. It works for me, so I guess that's good enough for me. Hopefully it works for you. And if it doesn't, I apologize. But I just ask for your patience, and the adventure will continue on. Ah, there it is. Perfect. So these 2 are going to be that. Now, I think I have these creatures in my Delves and Dangers game, and if I don't, I will come up with their stats on the fly. All right, so... All right. Checking my bestiary, or is it bestiary? How do you guys pronounce it? I don't think I have it in that section, so we're gonna jump to. I got a possibility as I know who they are or what I'm gonna use. Yeah. All right. Cool. So I'm gonna use this particular creature, and I'm gonna give it. Yeah. Okay. So, we'll see whose watch it is. Same watch as before. It's going to be Tantalus, which I guess is pretty good. She has pretty good perception. She gets +1 perception rolls. All right, so these creatures are approaching. I'm going to say because they're used to running and they are stalking, that it's a DL 4. She needs to make a DL4 on this roll. So I'm going to give her mind dice. I'm going to give her one for her being an elf. And then because I believe thieves are fairly perceptive, I'll give her an additional die. And then she's an elf, so that's going to be DL4. And let's see if she can make it. And she does not, nor does she hit an exploder, so she does not. So they get 1 free attack. All right, so they come at them from the sides. They're dire wolves. This is a particular miniature that is representing it. I got this big displacer beast to be the other wolf just because it's kind of big. It's actually bigger than I wanted it to be, but we'll see how this plays out. All right, so this wolf jumps down on this tent, and we're going to have it brings the tent down on Highlight, and that's basically going to trap Highlight. And I think what I'll do is I'll give Highlight a strength resistance to avoid any damage from the weight. So she's got a 5 strength resistance, so that's pretty good. So she rolls 5 dice. And there's 2 explosions. Yeah, so she avoids any damage, but she's going to be tangled up for a round. And the wolf attacks. I'll have her come from this direction. Attacks Tantalus. I'm going to give it plus 2 dice because of surprise. So they have big mounts. So they have a bite of 8 dice to begin with, and then I'm going to give an additional 2 dice. Oh, I grabbed exactly the right amount. So chomp. All right, so there's 3 explosures. Wow, that's going to hurt Tantalus. Oh, well, that's not so bad. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She has an armor of 1, so that's 8 damage. So she is down to 6 stamina. All right, so now she yells and we roll initiative. All right, so Flufffoot's going to go before the creatures, so is Highlight. Put Flufffoot up front, Highlight. Tantalus, uh-oh, Tantalus is shaken, so she's going after the creatures. So there's that. Oh, so is Morden. Morden's going after the creatures as well. So that's our initiative. And let's see what happens. All right, so Flufffoot is like, what is that? So he stands up. And he stares out from beneath his overhang. He sees what's going on. And does he have... He has lightning bolt. He's going to shoot a lightning bolt between these 2 right here. Now, it's going to go against their agility, which is pretty good. But... You know what? I'll have a go against their strength, which is about the same anyway. So, they have agility or strengths of 3. And in this game, they add... Yeah, so 3s. All right, so it's got to spend, I believe lightning bolt is 3 power. Oh, he can put as many dice as he wants into it. So he's got to roll. So he's got to spend 2 power points, and he's going to spend 2 more. So it's 4 total power points. So that's 4 dice right there. He gets to roll his casting dice, which at this point is 6. So he's rolling 10 dice of a lightning bolt. Between those 2, it's going to be modified by 3 for each. And he gets to reroll a failed roll because he's a Harefoot. And he's got 1 exploder. 4. So, lightning bolt streaks through the 2 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, 10 successes minus 3. That's 7 damage to these creatures. Now, they obviously have quite a few hit points. So, stamina, sorry, not hit points. So 7. All right. That's still a pretty good start. Well, let's give him that many. All right. That was Flufffoot. And then he kind of runs over here behind a tree. Now we have Highlight. Highlight scrambles out from underneath the tent, has her sword and shield close by, and attacks this particular dire wolf. And so 2, 4, 6, 8 dice. Slash. Oh, man. All right, so only 5. They have a defense of, we're going to say 2, so 3 damage more. All right. So that's Highligh's action. Now they attack. That one bites at Highlight. So that is 8 dice for the attack roll with its bite. 2 exploders, 2. Yeah, so there we go. So 3, 6, 8. She only has her shield, so that's 7 damage. So she takes 7 damage from her stamina. All right. And then the other one attacks Scandalous. And all right, so only gets a glancing bite. And that is, she has leather armor, so it absorbs 1. So she's down to 5. So she kind of got lucky there, which is good. Okay. Now it's Tantalus' turn. Tantalus quickly whips out her short sword and no, she's gonna no, she cannot stand toe-to-toe with this thing. So she is going to use her action to back out of combat and get behind this bush. She gets to move half her, on the other side of the fire and not attack, but backing out of there, hoping that her ally will be able to engage it, which he does. He's got a shield and a warhammer, but no armor. And he comes flying out of the tent with a battle cry, Kathor! And then attacks this creature. It's got this dire wolf, and he gets 7 dice for this. He attacks with his warhammer. All right, so. All right, so that is 5, 6, 7, 8. Minus 3 is 5, so he hurts that one pretty badly and gets its attention, takes its attention off the elf, so that's good. All right, initiative. Highlight, yes, so Highlight's going before them. Flufffoot gets to reroll a failed roll. Nope, Flufffoot's going after them. Morden's going after them. Tantalus is going before them. We'll have Tantalus go first. All right, then. Okay. So, Tantalus can get in a sneak attack now that Mordenmal is attacking, or she can play it safe and use her bow, or what she's going to do is use a healing stone. So she uses a charge on her healing stone, takes an action. She heals 5, so she's at 10 now. So and she's going to stay there for now until next round. Next, Highlight takes a swat in mortal combat with her opponent. And gets a decent shot. 6 hits, minus 3 is 3. Not quite enough yet. And then the wolves attack them. So wolf on Highline, 8 dice with that big bite. All right. So that's 6 minus 1 is 5. So she's down to 9. And then the attack on Morden. 3, 6 minus 1 is 5. So Morden takes 5 damage. And that brings him to 9. Now it is Flufffoot's attack. Flufffoot is going to fire a force bolt at the one fighting Highline and pop back behind the tree. Force bolt does not cost any power points. And rolls this. Oh, wait, rolled wrong dice. Always roll the same dice for the character. All right, so casting roll of, so 6 minus their 3 agility is only 3 damage on the one that that Highlight is fighting. Not quite enough to take it down. but we shall see what happens. Okay. All right, so Morden gets a swing with his Warhammer. So that's 7 dice. Okay, so that's 6 minus 2 is 4 more damage. Not quite enough. Both of these creatures are suffering, and so we're going to roll initiative. We'll see what happens. I think they're going to run away if they allow them to. All right, so Tantalus is going before them. Highlight is going after them. Morden is going before them, and so is Flufffoot. So, Tantalus comes up with her short sword. She gets +3 to attack a creature engaged with an ally. So that's 5 dice plus 3, 8 total. Not the greatest roll. -2 is 3 damage, but that's enough to take it down. So that creature falls. Then we have Morden moves up and attacks this one. Woo, 7 dice. Here we go. Oh, no. 4 minus 2 is 2 damage. That's just enough to fell that creature. And so they fall to the ground. Anyone want to eat wolf? Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. Tantalus is like, no, wolf is very stringy and tough. Probably what they would have thought of you. Well, I say we heal quickly. So Tantalus uses yet another the second of her 3rd charges. Oh, by the way, healing stone 6s do not explode in this game. So that's 7. So Tantalus is back to full. Morden is like, yes, good idea. That's 6. That brings him to full. And then Highlight also uses one of her charges, and that's 4. Not quite. She'll use another charge. It's 18 of 21. The rest she hopes to recover overnight. So they go back to sleep, keep their same guard watch, and they're up in the morning having breakfast. So that's the first entire week of their journey. And I'm trying to keep these episodes a little bit shorter. So I guess instead of going into the next week, which would probably make this a lot longer depending on the rolls we get, I'm just going to stop it there. And hopefully you enjoyed that little, I guess, interlude. Not every encounter has to be combat, and especially if you're solo role-playing, I know a lot of people use oracles. I just kind of go where the story goes in my mind and do what makes sense based on some random rolls. So that's my style of role-playing. And maybe solo role-playing, and maybe I'll make a video about my style of solo role-playing going forward, but I think most people can figure it out if they watch my videos, how I do it. But I don't know. We'll see. Let me know if that's something to be interested in, having a video on how I solo role-play specifically, beyond what you can see out here on the board. All right, anyway, so that was Delves and Dangers, my fantasy role-playing game, which is up on itch.io, if this looks like something that's of interest to you. And so, until next time, next week, next week, I don't know, this will probably be up before a week, so my second video will be up. You won't have to wait too long to know what happens to them in the second week of their journey to the trade road. So that's that. So once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support you gave me in the comments and on my channel. And those of you that have downloaded my game, thank you so much. Until next time, keep on rolling dice and playing games. Mage Hammer out.